Hello to all of you. Good morning and welcome to our meditation on this journey of the 40 days of the It Is Written. And we've been meditating on Genesis 24 when Abraham's servant, a man of his trust, went to another land, another city, where Abraham's family lived, and he went there with a mission. If you are following the meditation, you know what was the mission, and it was to find a wife for Isaac, Abraham's son. And the man arrived there, he prayed to God, he asked God to help him to succeed in that mission because he wanted to do things right, as we spoke as well. But, today we finalize this meditation on this chapter and the outcome of all this. But since it's 17 verses, I would like to mainly highlight 2 verses. And would be verse 56, when the man, after talking with Rebecca and with her family, and everyone understood and accepted, and Rebecca accepted to go with him back to where Isaac was living with his father, he said the following to the family, because they asked him for him to remain there at least for 10 days more. And he said to them, "Do not hinder me, since the Lord has prospered my way. Send me away so that I may go to my master." So what do we see here? I would like to highlight 2 main things in this verse. First was that we see the servant of Abraham all the time giving the glory to God of his success. He, at any moment, he said to people or thought that due to his skills, he managed to find Rebecca, the woman that would become the future wife of Isaac. We see all the time he's saying, the Lord, in this case, the Lord prospered my way. A few verses back, you will see that when the Rebecca and her family, they accepted to the gifts that he brought and accepted that she would go with him. It says, verse 52, that he worshipped the Lord, bowing himself to the earth. So we see that all the time this man showed fear to God. He showed that fear of reverence and respect towards God. And he understood that if it wouldn't be for God helping him, he would not be able to succeed in that mission, in that task. And that is the teaching, the same for all of us. Maybe you already practice this. Perhaps you are that kind of person that you recognize God in your ways. You know, every time you're going to do something, you pray, you ask Him to help you to succeed, help you to speak to people, help you to do things. Every morning you wake up, you present your day to God, and you ask Him to guide you, to feed your thoughts with what is good, to give you the strength that you will need, the courage, the humbleness, and good eyes, and to keep your heart clean, to teach you how to speak with people, and so forth. But maybe, I don't know who is watching this meditation, perhaps you don't have that habit that good habit of waking up in the morning, and God being the first person to whom you talk with. And you speak with others, you answer your messages and things like that. You run to your social media to see the updates or to update yourself with whatever is there on your feed. Well, if you indeed want to have blessed days, you want to see things doing well for you, you need to do this. You need to practice this. You need to recognize God in all your ways. So we finalize in verse 67 when it says, then Isaac, this was already when the man, the servant, returned to the city of where Abraham was living, and Isaac saw him and Rebekah coming on the way, and he ran towards them, and then he met Rebekah, and says here, and the servant told Isaac all the things that he had done. Then Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent, and he took Rebekah, and she became his wife, and he loved her. So Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. Well, of course, this one verse summarizes many events. Okay, it was not that Isaac had sexual relation with Rebekah before they became man and wife. No, there was a procedure. There was, something done on the right way. This is just summarizing. It's important to say this because he respected Rebekah, and Rebekah also gave herself that respect. So they went, and of course, then they got married, and then, well, they had their relation and all this. But the point here is that this was only possible because that man did things with God's guidance. And every Thursday, like today, we have in our church all over the world, we dedicate a service at 7:30 p.m. for Love Life, to teach people how to conduct themselves in their love life, how to choose the right partner, how to make their relationship with their actual partner to work well, to overcome issues, not allowing time to become their enemy. Like for many couples, time becomes their worst enemy because they feel like love got cold and they don't feel the same for each other. And then they start to think about other options, or they give space to a third person to be part of that relationship, and then this causes problems, or they try to just find an escape for their constant problems, arguments, and lack of peace or understanding at home, and then they go and then they drink, or they go out with friends, or they try to live a life where they can have a moment for themselves and not think about the problems they have at home. So in other words, they are trying to run away from the problem. But the more they run away from the problem, they are indeed increasing that problem, making that problem become bigger. And the gap, the abyss between the couple becomes bigger and bigger, and the problem just increases. So why am I saying this? Because if you want to find guidance, if you do not want to, again, choose wrong, your future partner, then I invite you to join us tonight 7:30 p.m. I will be with my wife here in Liverpool at 153 Northumberland Street, 7:30 p.m., as I said, and the pastors there in Brisbane as well. He will be with his wife at 7 p.m., and the pastor in Dandenong, 7:30 with his wife as well, praying for your family and your love life. So don't miss tonight's service, which I'm sure it will help you, like the servant of Abraham, succeed in his task, and of course brought joy and happiness to Isaac's life because he was guided all the time by God, because he seek that. Well, I leave here this invitation, and with this I end our today's meditation. Tomorrow, of course, we'll be back, and I hope that you can join us. May God bless you all, and see you tomorrow.